So we here at this conference, represent a variety of different types of companies, different business models, all playing in the telecommunications arena in this giant growing industry. And the question that I think confronts all of us is, how do we win? It's my view that in order to win, you need to pick your battle. No one carrier can be all things to all people. You've got new entrants and new ways of communicating that are pushing the industry towards a much more horizontally organized structure, one where there's a lot more specialization that's happening than there was 15, 20 years ago. This specialization allows retailers, such as successful retailers, to focus on their marketing, on innovation and service, on customer retention and customer service, and on content sales. In the wholesale segment, there are companies that are increasingly focusing on backbone operation, on network sharing, on application hosting, provisioning, or in Arbonet's case, we focus on international voice. I'm going to turn now and just touch a little bit on the area that we spend most of our time working at Arbonet, which is the international voice market. It is a very big market. It's a market that is somewhere between $75 and $100 billion of revenue on an annual basis. It's a market that's grown for more than 100 years. The market has basically expanded. It expanded very, very quickly in the past decade. And then in the last year, with the global recession, I think that most analysts are saying that it stayed flat or shrunk a little bit. But I think that it still is a growth business. It's one where in the wholesale segment, you'll see increasing portions of the traffic shifting from the traditional relationships into the wholesale marketplace. Today, about 55–56% of the total international voice traffic is free-floating, is wholesale. At the same time, you've seen a shift to IP, as many of the speakers have referenced earlier today. Roughly, I think one of the earlier speakers showed some statistics, roughly a third of the international voice traffic is riding on VoIP infrastructure. The reality in this market, however, is that it is a very low-margin business. It's a small part of most of the big integrated players' businesses, but less than 10% for most of them. It's a spot in a place in the industry where there's way too many players, and where many service providers, if they really do the accounting correctly, are not making money. Scale and efficiency are critical to survive and to be successful and to make money in international voice. The optimization of routing is very, very critical. It's very, very complex. The risk in the low-margin business from credit and fraud is quite high. The traffic is very volatile. It moves very, very quickly. And this all is fueling this drumbeat we hear of consolidation and of outsourcing. And I think people, I'm sure, are quite aware of some of the very big outsourcing deals that have been announced, but there's many, many different ways that companies outsource their traffic. Some are complicated, some are risky, and some are much simpler. To succeed, the efficiency and scale I've mentioned, having global reach, having coverage of much of the world, if not all of the world, is critical. Being able to understand what's happening with portability is very important. There's 80 countries in the world today that are allowing portability, so the numbers are becoming untethered from networks, and routing becomes harder and harder on that front. Being a VoIP leader is critical. Being able to understand what's happening with your business and being able to understand in real time or near real time is very, very critical. And then being flexible, figuring out how to work with the different types of carriers and service providers that are out there is a critical component of success. Just a couple slides on what we're doing at Arbonet. We're a company that has been around for about 10 years. We focus primarily on international voice. We are a global services provider working with fixed, mobile, wholesale, prepaid, and VoIP service providers to help them route their traffic from one part of the globe to another. We work with most of the world's largest carriers. We are connected to a total of 1,100 different service providers. So we do have quite good scale, quite good global reach. We have quite sophisticated IP infrastructure that we use to underwrite our VoIP business, and we also sell that separately. We this last year, carried more than 1 billion minutes a month. We offer our customers and suppliers 3 different ways of working, reaching the international voice market. We have our exchange, which I think is what most people probably know us for. It is the world's largest trading platform where buyers and sellers can meet and bid on different routes. We also this year have added a wholesale interface, which we call carrier services. That's a traditional way of working with carriers, fixed rate periods, standard billing, standard wholesale contracts. And then we have private exchange, which is a virtual direct route that we offer, a outsourcing type service that's low risk, easy to use, and quite easy to provision. All 3 of these services are supported by Arbinet's credit watch technology and processes, where our receivables are guaranteed by third-party underwriters, where service providers are secure that they will get paid and they will get paid on time. And I think that that's one of the strengths that our company has, that we're able to really keep a very, very good handle on the threat environment, especially in these times. This is a snapshot of the web interface that users of our exchange have. We just released today an upgraded version. It provides a lot of market statistics, available routes, and it facilitates the trading and traffic on the exchange. Private exchange, I mentioned, is a virtual direct route that's available between retail service providers and direct termination providers in different parts of the world. And essentially what we're doing here is we're allowing service providers to utilize the Arbinet network to route traffic to a designated correspondent carrier. The 2 carriers handle the commercial relationship. Arbinet handles the settlement, the infrastructure, the technology, the codec conversion, manages the credit and all that. And we charge a very small fee for that. It's a fast, low-cost way to outsource the traffic on particular routes. We have global number portability correction built into our network. I mentioned earlier that about 80 countries have portability at this point, where numbers are no longer tethered to one network. The challenge of understanding how to route a call to a mobile subscriber in Italy or in Belgium is not necessarily, is sometimes quite high. And we do have in our routing engine the technology to understand what numbers have been ported and to route that call to the appropriate end carrier. And then at the heart of the network is a very advanced IP infrastructure. We are able to choose between a large number of backbones as we route our VoIP traffic from place to place in the world. We're able to provide the right SLAs, the right level of service, so that retail customers can send their traffic over our network. And we do sell this as a standalone service as well. In sum, I think that Arbinet has many of the components for success in the area that we're specializing in international voice. We have the scale, we have the flexibility, we have the ability to manage credit, to manage the routing complexity. We have the IP expertise to continue to ride that wave as the world goes more and more into the IP direction. I look forward to continued discussions with you folks here in the next couple of days. We've got our whole Asia team here, as well as Sean O'Donnell, our CEO. I thank you folks for your business.